Hello everyone, and today's node is the edge fracture node, and we will understand this node together. So we have this edge fracture node and I have this grid. I'm in the geometry level right now. So when I connect this to the edge fracture, just remember this, that the edge fracture has two input ports. The first is the geometry to fracture and second are the fracture curves. So for the fracture curve, I will just give this draw curve, and I will draw a curve. But you need to remember this thing first, that the fracture curves must be parallel to the geometry we need to fracture. For in this case, the geometry lies in the zx plane, so we need to draw a curve in the zx plane, and we have the zx plane, and I don't need this, or just delete this. I might have draw curve and the position is the zx plane. So now toggle this on and hit enter, and I will have my first edge, my first fracture curve. So now when you see this, when you toggle this primitive piece on, by toggling this you will have those fractured pieces. You will see I've turned this on and we have something like this. So what's happening? We are getting some pieces, but we have this initial pieces toggled on, but we don't need these initial pieces right now, so we can just toggle this off, right? And also remember this, when you toggle the initial pieces off, only you will get your geometry without any piece. But if you like if you put this on on, and even if you have the value 0, you will get these pieces. And why? Because I think that Houdini is internally drawing some curves. To be honest, I don't know why, but I don't think it's necessary to go deep here to understand why it is creating those pieces. If you don't need any piece, just toggle this off. So we have two parts, and when I say this exploded view, you will see something like this. Now we have two pieces, right? And also what we can use here as the fracture curves, only not only the curves, and to visualize this better, to give this more pieces, what you can do, just toggle this off, toggle this on, and we can draw more pieces. Right now we have more pieces, but this grid is not of very much detail, so we will remesh this to get much more detail here, right? So now our grid has much more detail, and now it will be easy for it to create more curves, because when you when you draw a line, right, when you draw a line, these points need to have the detail to draw that same line on top of your fractured curve. So I guess you understand this because it's not that difficult to understand. But here, if I go in a bit depth here, you will see when I give this a grid, this grid can also act as our fracture curves, because when you visualize this, you will see these lines are now acting as the fracture curves. So when you increase or decrease its size, you will get those pieces. And when you decrease its size, like at some level, you will see this decrease its size more. You will see after 0.4, we are not getting any fracture curve, because these primitive level, this grid, these primitives this grid has are very much they are bigger than this. So to create a fractured piece, it need much more detail. And when you decrease its target size, so we can have much more detail, and you will see now we are getting some fractured pieces. So if you get stuck in this, like why I'm not getting any fractured pieces, because you have less detail, or either you can, like, you are using very small fractured piece. So for this, I have something like this, and this grid, I can increase its size, let's say its original size and its original detail. We have now this much detail, and what we can do, I can just hit copy and transform, and I can like transform this. So we are instancing here, and I'm increasing the total amount of these grid. You will see I'm getting something like this, and when I rotate this in the y-axis, I'll get something like this, and I can increase, uh, like give a bit rotation in the z-axis, so I can have detail. And when I toggle the edge fracture on, you will see now we have much more detail. And if you want more detail, you can always like give this your desired detail, so you will get something like this. And this is a bit too much, so I will go with 0.05, and I have something like this. So this way you can create much more detail in your fractured pieces, and they are like separate pieces, so you can play with these. And also, really important thing here is when you create an edge fracture, you get two groups. First, the original points, and second, the new points. When you open the geometry spreadsheet, you will see your groups: new points, original points. And if you want to visualize your like new points, what you can do, you can just hit color and give them the black color and hit new points, and you will see something like this. So when you explode these, right, you will see something like this, and you will see that these new points are now have the black color. When you open the geometry spreadsheet, you will see the original points have value 1. 1 means they are in the group, and 0 means they are not in the group. So when you go down, you will see these new points have the value 1, right? That means they are in the new points group. So when we fracture this from the edge fracture, we get these groups. So how you will know that which side will get the new points? And we don't know, to be honest. I don't know. And to like see this properly, you will see this is a new point, 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 and this is a new point. So are you seeing a pattern here? We are getting new points on both this side. Like it's not like that we are getting new points on this side or this side. I guess it is because when we like break this or separate this or give this constraints, that uh, in the vellum part we need these new points on both the sides, so we can connect them and have the constants on them. So just remember this, that we are getting this group. They can be really helpful. And one more thing here, we have the cost attribute, and I will tell you what it is. Just hit attribute paint if you want to like visualize this and to see how this works, and give this cost, and toggle this on. And I want to like visualize the my curves, and also you see this curve is going from there to there, right? Let's give this a cost value 100. So you will see red. So this path has cost 100, right? This path has cost 100, and give this path cost, let's say 0.1, right? So you see the pattern. The fractured curve has a, a cost value 100, and beside these points which have cost value 100, we have these points have value 0.1. So what will happen here, when you see this, when you visualize this, you will see something here, and that something here is, you see, now we are getting, you see, now we are getting the fractured beside this curve, not on top of this. If we turn the cost attribute off, we are getting the fracture on the line, and if we turn this on, you are getting the fracture uh, beside this line. And why it's happening, I will say one thing, that if the cost value is high, that means it is much more costful to travel the path, or it will take much more effort to travel the path. I will say one thing, the lower the cost value in when compared to other points cost value, the lower the value, much more easy for the fracture to travel. So it is like low cost is directly proportional to the more probability to travel, right? Just remember this and you will be fine. So I guess this is it for this edge fracture video, and I will see you with the with another node.